Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
Personality: Umar Musa Yar'Adua. Born August 16, 1951 in Katsina. Former President Umar Musa Yar'Adua died on May 5, 2010. He served as president from May 29, 2007 to May 5, 2010. Born to an elite Fulani family, his family was prominent in both politics. His father was a federal minister during the First Republic, 1960 to 1960. Brother, General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, was Chief of Staff, Supreme Headquarters, next to Head of State, General Olusegun Obasanjo, in the military government from 1976 to 1979. Umar Musa Yar'Adua got a bachelor's and master's degree in chemistry from Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, 1975 to 1983. He taught in various colleges and a polytechnic before venturing into business as director of many companies. Umar Musa Yar'Adua first entered politics as a mobilizer for Aminu Kano's People's Redemption Party (PRP) during the Long Transition Program 1989 to 1993 and became a founding member of the People's Front, a political association led by his late elder brother, General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, which became the core of the Social Democratic Party (SDP). President Olusegun Obasanjo selected Umar Musa Yar'Adua to stand for presidential election as PDP candidate for the 2007 general election. Umar Musa Yar'Adua died May 5, 2010, following complications from heart and kidney issues. He is remembered as one of Nigeria's most peace-loving leaders.
Did you know?
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 Did you know? Did you know?
The best of talk radio.
The courts are congested. That is why the Lagos State government have decided to create a special court for special operation of rape cases, and that is why you see that the conviction rates in Lagos State have increased.
Keeping you informed all day.
Let's finally talk about the Premier League and this meeting they should be having later today. Clubs will have the most thorough discussion.
About 1.2 million people who are living with HIV are on treatment in this country. It's a great number to have.
Your favorite dial, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. Is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. A beautiful Monday morning to you. 99.3 Nigeria Info is a station for talk. That's all we do. We talk and get you talking as well. We kicked off the day with chit chat at 5 a.m. Dailies today came up at 6. Just after the first major news of the day. Tunji Andrews was live with Money, Business and Economy show as well at 6:45. Afterwards, Femi and the gang, ably represented by Chuman Noli, brought you Sports Drive. And now, Lagos, it's time for the Morning Crossfire. Welcome, I am Sheriff Quadry. You can follow up this conversation on Facebook right now because we are live on Facebook and YouTube. Just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 on these platforms. Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook and YouTube, and you can watch live and join the conversation live on these two portals. Feel free to join us there, okay? Because I will be looking forward to hearing from you on these two where platforms are always streaming our visuals live. You can see us. You can also listen to this show on our website, nigeriainfo.fm. That's our website. You can listen live from our website to this show and every other show every other day on Nigeria Info. That's nigeriainfo.fm on our website. Feel free to also follow up this conversation on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM is our Twitter handle. Lagos, welcome to the Morning Crossfire today. While we are talking about the rowdiness of markets and religious houses still on lockdown, flights are about to resume operation. Well, we hear that we'll know more about the date that flight to resume operation, but we do know that, FAN has released a statement saying that, air travelers should be ready to pay more. So apparently there was a simulation the other day over the weekend when flights will resume and how, operations will be going on at our airports, majorly Lagos and Abuja. Well, if you recall, local flights were supposed to resume on June 21, but the government changed its mind about approving resumption because the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria was yet to implement the necessary requirements. So anyway, that's about to change now. The PTF and the aviation minister inspected the two major airports over the weekend and have agreed that to commence operations. Upon resumption of flight operations, international passengers will be required to arrive at the airport at least 5 hours before departure. Shall arrive at least 3 hours before departure time. Now, this way, it is expected that all protocols, including safety markings, social distancing, hand sanitizing, baggage decontamination, scanning of personal items, and so on, will be strictly adhered to. But it was only last week during the press briefing of COVID-19 that Boss Mustafa, the chairman of the PTF, made suggestion that now should be a good time for a lockdown. That if we're up to him, that he would have sanctioned another lockdown if he had to make that decision. Be very complacent about the virus these days, but Lagos, are you in support of a government plan to resume flights and interstate movement while we are still battling rising cases of COVID-19? What has been the effect of interstate lockdown, in your opinion? If you're here in Lagos and your family is elsewhere, have you been able to go visit your family? And for those that are wondering, the hike in prices of stuff in the market, you should know that most things come from elsewhere. They will have to go through some legal or illegal. I'm trying not to use either word, but they'll have to go checkpoints, and each checkpoint they have to pay. So when you say that things have gone up in the market, this is partly the reason because of the ban on interstate restriction of movement is largely responsible for the hike in the prices of stuff that you see in the marketplaces today. So I want to know, from your point of view, exactly how the interstate travels restriction has affected you and whether it should be lifted or not. That is our conversation this morning. Of course, we'll get to hear today or tomorrow from the government on the next line of action, whether interstate travel restriction will be lifted or not. We'll also get to know if the exact date. It is very certain that flight resumption will happen. We're just waiting for the announcement of the exact date that it will commence. Flight operations will commence. That's what we're waiting for. But as for interstate lockdown, we have no idea as to the position of the government. So let me know your own position, whether you feel that it should be lifted or not. Now, while you're making up your mind, let me help you with some statistics and figures to help you make up your mind, right? Yesterday, we have about 490 new cases, confirmed cases of COVID-19. As of today, total confirmed cases stand at 24,560. Without 100 tests. When I say carried out tests, I'm talking about people that have had to go through multiple testing. You understand? You don't just do one test. So the number of total, so it means that this 130,000 doesn't actually mean 130,000 people. It's way fewer than 130,000 people. Do you understand the point now? So it's about 130,165 tests that we've done. But the number of people involved, I mean, you can see the number of confirmed cases and everything. Yeah. So currently active, we have about 14,995 active cases of COVID-19. 9,007 people have been discharged so far, and we've lost 565 people to COVID in this country. Now, this is the bottom line here. We want to look at 2 weeks. The figures that have come in, confirmed cases of COVID-19 in 2 weeks. I mean, interstate lockdown have been enforced for like how many weeks now? Over a month, or since the beginning of COVID. Let's put it that way. From the beginning of COVID, it's been interstate lockdown have been in effect from the beginning, right? Let's put it that way. Let's just put it that way for this conversation's sake, all right? So, but let's take the last 2 weeks into consideration. Last 2 weeks ago, the confirmed cases that we had was 16,085. Now, it jumped in 2 weeks by 50% to 24,567. In other words, in 2 weeks, we recorded 8,482 confirmed cases. In 2 weeks. Now, to me, if this is not serious, I don't know what else is serious. I actually don't know what else can be serious. If this is not serious, 50% increase in the number of confirmed cases based on the number of tests that we have done so far. So if you look at the number of tests that we are expected to have done, then this is perhaps really insignificant to the number that we should be talking about. That's another conversation for another day as to the reason why we're not doing enough tests as we should be doing. That's a conversation for another day. So I'm just giving you this figure so that it can shape your conversation, it can shape your submission on the show this morning, whether you feel that interstate travel restriction should be lifted when we hear the announcement later today or tomorrow from the federal government. This week, let's just say this week, when they make the announcement this week. Would you love them to lift the interstate restriction, or you want it to be enforced? By the way, Lagos State government is threatening another lockdown, because the Lagos State government is saying that very few people are observing the guidelines, the protocols that they announced when they were lifting the lockdown. 0700 993 993 993. That is 0700 993 993 993. The question on the morning crossfire today is: should government permit resumption of flights and interstate travels at this time? Let's get to hear you. When you're calling me, please bring down the volume of your radio. A lady will pick your call once you call. She will try to get your information. Please be patient. Once your information is approved and passed to the studio, I will be able to speak with you. So when she picks your call, please be patient. Speak with her, give her your details, and then she will patch you straight to the studio. Let's have Patrick join us on the show. Patrick is calling in from Lekki. Hi, Patrick. Good morning to you.
Sheriff, how are you today? Good morning.
I'm doing okay, Patrick.
Yeah, well, with all the figures that you've reeled out in an area or in the country where things are done properly, yes, we'll say the interstate lockdown should remain.
Right.
I think the lockdown interstate should be lifted. And the reason is the people are suffering as we speak. Since the lockdown, people travel as if there was no pronouncement regarding interstate.
Right.
That's how much the environment, the situation in this country has gone so low. The law enforcement agents who are meant to enforce the strict lockdown are just feeding on it. It's their own business turnaround time.
Right. Right.
So
I mean, and that's the most annoying part, Patrick. It's the most annoying part, because right now they are aiding the spread of COVID.
Yeah, because they cannot see how it affects them. The government representative, our representative in government, the governor, the president, the ministers, and the commissioners, they also cannot see how the increase is getting it close to them. They think that, look, it is shameful for government to just make pronouncement and say, we want everybody to wear nose mask, wash your hands, we are opening the market. And so they opened the market. The government went to sleep. There is no advocacy that is sensible as regards the advantages why people should use the mask.
Right.
Now, I spoke to 100 people asking them, why are you guys not wearing your mask? And they said it is difficult for them to think, to breathe.
Yeah.
Now, I think we need to sit down as a people and look, okay, why are people not using this thing? Ask them questions.
Right.
It's difficult for us to breathe.
Right.
If the major channel of the transfer is the droplet,
Right.
it's okay, cover your mouth with the mask. If you need to sneeze, pull it off. You will see that a lot of people will comply with wearing the mask. Which market do they wash hands anymore? Which market do they use hand sanitizer anymore? Supermarkets, previously you go there, they tell you, okay, 60% capacity. Everything has collapsed as if there is no government.
Because nobody is monitoring, Patrick. Thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate it a lot. Let me speak with Kingsley this morning. Hi, Kingsley. Good morning to you. We lost Kingsley. Kingsley, are you there?
I'm there.
Okay, talk to me, Kingsley.
Okay. Initially, the first time you guys had this conversation, I called in and I kicked against the fact that some people are clamoring for religious houses to be open in place of the market. And I also made my statement. I said it's easier for people to gather.
Hi, Kingsley. Are you there? Kingsley, are you back? I think we lost Kingsley's call. Something is going on. We're experiencing some kind of drop calls that is quite strange, but we'll see what is going on in a moment. But let me go to Facebook because we're streaming live on Facebook as we speak right now. And comments have been pouring in already on Facebook. Yinka Johnson on Facebook says, with the lockdown, people will travel without any caution. So why not allow it's official for people to travel so that measures can be put in place to reduce the spread through that medium. That's Yinka's message. Ismail Olabayo on Facebook says, good morning, Sheriff. I heard all your analogy, but I want you to know that the virus is here and we are already dealing with community spread. So at this time, lockdown will not work anymore. Lockdown or no lockdown, people are traveling. So in a nutshell, government should open up the economy and lift ban on international and interstate travels for crying out loud. Thank you. Thank you for talking to me. Let's see who we've got here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hi, Sheriff.
Good morning.
Ikechukwu speaking.
Ikechukwu, what say you? Should we lift ban and restriction on interstate travels?
Just for the government to make it official, yes. But there's been nothing like ban or restriction on interstate travel. Of course, apart from the airways anyway. And
yeah.
We have seen cases where, people have pretended to travel on essential or humanitarian grounds and they're actually commercial flights. So if you look at it holistically, there's been no restriction.
I get what you're saying, Ikechukwu. But what the point is, even those people that are moving around, on the ground, buses,
yes.
They are paying through their nose to move around. So you can say that there is restriction because if there was no restriction, right?
Those people that travel on with buses.
Yes, of course. People are paying through their nose to travel.
Yeah, of course. You see, the truth is, people have to. Life has to move on. You can't put a restriction on my business, for instance. If I have to travel, via the borders. And if that's the only way for me to survive, I will pay anything to get my stuff in and out.
Right.
And there are people who also want these goods and commodities, and they will also be willing to get, their businesses moving. So ideally, what you just have is an announcement or a pronouncement.
Right.
So come and announce officially, So, but people have been moving. That's just the
yeah. So the point is right. Should there be a pronouncement? At least let people pronounce it.
For me, I'll even advocate that all businesses, if I let the lockdown, everything should just open. Let the economy open fully, and let's deal with this thing heads on. So there's no point trying to keep it's more like you have a crate of eggs.
Right.
You are trying to secure part of it. Meanwhile, the other part, you've already boiled it in the pot.
Ikechiku, thank you. Thank you so much for talking to me. Clinton is here from Alaba. Hi, Clinton. Good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Let's talk. What do you think? We should lift the restriction officially.
Sheriff, official business should be closed in total.
Okay.
The fact remains that we Nigerians are deaf ears. What do you want government to say? Government have told you that don't travel. Whenever risk is taken, at the end, whatever to be on the road, they have to be it by yourself. Government told you not to travel. Why are you traveling? Can't you listen to the word of the government? Okay, like in Nigeria International Market, the open market. Since last week, the chairman has mandated that every shop must have water running as sanitizer.
Right.
And they can't enter into the market, even if you're a buyer, they can't enter into the market without a nose mask. That has been effective as I'm talking to you up to tomorrow now. So there are tax force flowing every person's around. So the problem we have that some of them don't believe that this COVID-19 is real.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
So the moment they begin to believe, better for us. Please, that's the issue. The moment they begin to believe, better for us. COVID-19 is real and it's killing a lot of people.
Yes, it is real. It is
Just
real.
the truth. Please, do all you can to make sure that people believe. The problem for them not to believe. Does not believe, that's the issue. So no matter the enforcement of government, they will still not believe government. So they believe that government is scamming them. Who are you that government will use to scam? If they want to eat the money, they will not excuse from you and they eat the money. So why are they scamming you?
Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, Clinton. I appreciate it. You know what, Lagos? You know what we're going to do right now? We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Please go there, drop your comment. If you want to send me SMS, I beg your pardon, a WhatsApp message, please send me your WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. Let me know what you think about this conversation. Should the government lift the ban on interstate movement, or they should impose total ban? I mean, there is a total ban. As it stands right now, there is a total ban on interstate movement, no doubt about it. But enforcement seems to be the problem that we're dealing with. Those that are put there, the police, the military, that are on the roads to make sure that people are stopped from moving around. I mean, why do we always need people? Why do we need to be forced to do what we're expected to do? That's another conversation for another day. We just want to be forced all the time. It's, oh my goodness me. All right, so we'll be back. Let's go to break. At the top of the hour of 8, we'll bring you the news, and after the news, I'll be back in here to take your thoughts on this conversation. Nigerians are already talking about it on Facebook. Nigeria Info 99.3. You can search for it. We're streaming live. You can see me live in the studio here on Facebook. Nigeria Info 99.3. We're also live on YouTube. That's right. You can watch live crystal clear pictures from YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3. That's where we're streaming from. Lagos. We'll be right back after this break. Stay here. Don't go anywhere.
We keep you informed all day long with the best radio programming. From the morning crossfire with Sheriff to What's Up Lagos with Collins, Teke.
On What's Up Lagos, let's go straight to the next story.
And at noon, it's the sunny side with Joyce. Let's talk hard facts with Sandra
I will
Ezekwesili.
present a story the way that it was presented.
Femi and the gang bring the game on with day-by-day accounts of magnificent moments in the world of football. And we also keep it live and dangerous with Daddy Freeze. And finally, the chat station. All for your listening pleasure. Your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Set your time on 99.3 Nigeria Info, the correct time.
It's 8 o'clock. The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Access Bank is offering to pay 3 months stamp duty charge on behalf of its customers. This is coming after complaints of multiple deductions on the accounts of customers over the weekend. The bank says it would refund the monies debited from Saturday to Sunday. The 2019 Finance Act stipulates a 50 naira stamp duty charge on every 10,000 naira deposit. The recent arrest of Nigerians for online fraud carried out outside the country could further close up international opportunities to Nigerians. A game developer, Amas Albert, says Nigerians already face limitations. This is due to organizations either blacklisting us or subjecting us to increased scrutiny.
The effect is really bad. A lot of people just passively now have that mindset that Nigeria is a country of fraudsters, okay? And I know how difficult it is when I'm online chatting with my friends in gaming chat rooms, you know. It's difficult. Many services refuse to pay money to Nigerian companies now because they feel they're fraudulent. The legitimate ICT businesses are suffering for it. Fraudsters are making it impossible or difficult for freelancers to be taken seriously.
Burna Boy has won the Best International Act at the BET Award the second time in a row. He beat Stormzy and 5 other acts to get the award. There was no gathering this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. The award was presented virtually, and this is what Burna had to say.
Thank you very much, BET. Second time, I appreciate it. I'd like to use this opportunity to say that sometime around 1835, there was a mission to turn Africa, the nation of Africa, into a dominated nation. Now is the time to overturn that and go back to the royalty that we were. Because in order for Black lives to matter, Africa must matter. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Lagos, that was the news. Good morning to you.
Lagos, such a busy place. But here's how I managed to stay in touch with the latest changes, trends, news, economics, and even entertainment.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
50% jump in number of confirmed coronavirus cases in 2 weeks, from 16,085 2 weeks ago to 24,565 as of yesterday. That is our situation right now. Currently, the government is planning to open the airspace so that there can be flight operations. Will this aid economic activities? Maybe. Will this aid the spread of COVID? Definitely. So which outweighs which in these two options that we got? That is for flight operations. How about interstate travels? Should the government lift the restriction, the ban on interstate travels? These are the questions that I'm asking you this morning, Lagos. What say you? Are you for the lift of ban on interstate travels? Oh, well, there's nothing you can do about air travels because it's going to happen. They've made up their mind that they're going to go ahead with it. So if they're going ahead with it, that means well, inadvertently, they have said, yeah, you can move from one state to the other. Inadvertently, that's what they're saying. So does that mean that we should expect pronouncement that there will be a lift of the ban on interstate travel this week? Because we're expecting such pronouncement for flight travels this week. Should government permit resumption of flights and interstate travels? That is the question I'm asking you today. 0700 993 993 993. That is 0700 993 993 993. You can watch live on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is what you can search for on YouTube to be a part of this conversation. And I will be taking your thoughts on YouTube any moment now, all right? We're also streaming live on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3. That is Facebook.com/Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook. Feel free to also send me your thoughts via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. I'm going to start with WhatsApp and take a few messages that have come in as quickly as possible. Good morning, Nigeria. I work with transport company as a driver for 3 months now. I have not been working and no means of income to me and no money to feed my family again. Let FG help us to open interstate movement. Chris from Idimu sent that in. Chris, thank you for your message. I'll take another one quickly. Tayo is in Aja. Tayo says, you plan to resume flight, open marketplaces, and increase in COVID-19 daily persists. Bishop Oyedepo message, if for only spiritually sound mind, is just stating the obvious. Tayo sent that in as well in support of opening up interstate travels. Innocent from Agboju says, Kaduna how? I don't understand what you're saying. How did Kaduna get into this conversation? All right. I'm going to skip your message very quickly now. Let's pick another one. Good morning, Sheriff. Nigerian police will never wish the interstate travel ban to be lifted because they are making a heck of good money. Ijebu Ode to Ikorodu Road, they are collecting 500 naira on every motorist before they can allow you to pass. God bless me inside the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dami from Ijebu Ode sent that in. The question is, what? Anyways. Ayola Benson says, with all the things being equal, the air travel will be lifted up. So if that happens, it will be logical for interstate travel ban to be lifted too. Because if a traveler is to travel to Kano, the traveler will have to take a bus to Abuja. Then in such scenarios, take Airbus to Abuja. Then in such scenarios, how does the traveler move from Abuja to Kano? Ayola Benson is trying to rationalize the lift of ban on air travels and non-land travels. Shukudi Urakpa says, with regards to the discourse, there is nothing like interstate ban, as there is movement to different locations with reckless abandon at any given point in time. People are using such means to enrich their pocket, better their families, and on the other side, praying for the mouthy ban to still remain. So who is fooling who? On flight resumption, if the local airlines have fulfilled their own side of the bargain, then they should be good to go. Okay, thank you for your message. I'll take one more, then we'll go to Facebook to take some thought on Facebook. Deji from Ogun State says, I want interstate lockdown be open for every business. I think you're missing 4 there. Okay. Deji, thank you. Thank you for your message. I appreciate it. All right, let's leave Deji's message alone. Let's go to the phone lines and take Greatness call. Hi, Greatness. Are you there? Greatness, are you there? I think we've lost Greatness call. We'll pick another one quickly. Hello, good morning to you.
Chief Quadry, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you. Chris is my name. I think they should lift the lockdown.
Okay.
Chief Quadry, I'm happy with you when you said Lagos state government said few people are obeying the rules, right? I want to tell you I'm one of those. Since March 28th, Chief Quadry, I haven't been to my house. I lost somebody in the village, March this year. I can't go for the burial. People are telling, oh, Chris, come. I said, no, there's lockdown. I said, no, people are traveling. I have my gura. Fuel is even cheaper. But I want to believe and do whatever the government asked us to do on this corona issue.
Right.
I couldn't travel. 4 months now, I never see my children. So for those who are arguing, like that man said, this thing is real. You hear the woman you speak with this morning, I don't know if it's a lady, the one that said he's trying to reach out the Commissioner for Health, right?
Right.
So this thing is real, oh. Those who are doubting, and for the lockdown, let them lift it.
Okay.
People are not obeying. People are traveling, my brother. I'm telling you, 2 days ago, somebody called me, oh, Chris, I'm in the village. How did you do it? I paid 14,000 instead of 5,000. I say, look at that. Supposing halfway they stop you and say, go back to where you're coming from, Uncle. I will not take that risk. So please, they should lift that dialogue, give them guidelines. I trust most of these transport companies.
Right.
They will follow the rules. But the stubborn ones among them are the cause why the good ones are suffering this thing. And the other day I talked about government not enforcing their laws. You know who I'm missing in all this? The late General Tunde Idiabo. Who are you when Idiabo give instruction? You remember Kai, war against the discipline. If you try to do one funny thing, no enforcement agent, but somebody just make sure Kai, you will correct yourself. So I'm really missing Tunde Idiabo.
Right.
Somebody will call like, oh, there's nothing like Idiabo regime.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Gospel is here. Hi, Gospel. Good morning to you. Hello, Gospel. Are you there?
Hello?
Good morning to you. We lost Gospel's call. Do try and call me back, Gospel, if you can. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Olumuyiwa, calling from Nigeria.
It's good to have you.
They should open every economy.
Okay.
And if they want to open this interstate, let them not make it like our normal transport. Whereby they will say, don't carry 14, carry 6. And those commercial drivers will now be charging 30,000, 40,000. This pandemic, this lockdown, and this partial lockdown, government did not make any law that will benefit the common man. The law like all the landlords should collect 6 months or reduce their rent. The transportation should reduce their charges. No. But the ordinary people, we that they are calling ordinary Nigeria, we are the ones who suffer it. So if they want to open everything, let them remove the social distancing so that we can continue paying our normal charges.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you, Olumiwa. Eze is here from Apapa. Hi, Eze. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Sheriff.
Good morning to you. What do you think? Should we lift interstate travel restriction?
Sheriff, I think the whole thing is being controlled by this partial lifting because it's not official partial lifting. All these people that travel has one reason or the other, serious ones. If you lost loved one here, we Igbos, we don't bury our loved ones abroad,
elsewhere.
We carry them home.
Right.
Then some other people have some serious issues. Their mother or their father died. So it is partial. It is not complete opening. But when you open it completely,
right,
then this thing will go wide and people will suffer more. So this partial lifting, as we see it, is far better than opening up the whole road.
Right.
And when you open the whole road, then people will distribute it like pure water inside the villages and people will die more. Thank you.
Thank you, too, for calling me. Let's look at Uche. Uche is in Ikeja. Hi, Uche. Good morning to you.
Hey, Sheriff. Good morning, my brother.
How are you doing?
How you doing? I'm cool.
I'm cool, too.
Sheriff, very quickly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm happy with, this topic. I think it's something that we should have talked about a long time ago.
We had like 2 times or 3 times already.
Okay. Thanks for emphasizing it.
Right.
Look, Sheriff, there is no reason why we shouldn't cancel this so-called ban on interstate travel. Now, like they have stated already, they intend to resume operations.
Flight operations, yes.
Now, Sheriff, if I'm going to Umuahia, I take a flight from here to Owerri. Owerri is in Imo State. If you say we can't travel interstate, how do I get to Umuahia from Owerri? It's just common sense. Besides, the security agencies, you hear reports, even comments and all that. Those who have been able to travel, they pay exorbitant fares because the people on the road are milking the transporters. And there is no way you can even control the so-called social distancing in that instance.
Right.
Because everybody is trying to do, what is not legal, and then they get jam-packed and all that. But if you open up the space and tell transporters, this is the regulation, this is the criteria, make sure you observe so regulation, then we can begin to monitor it, and then we'll will succeed in what we're trying to achieve.
Right.
But when you say you ban it and you know that people are doing it,
and it's happening,
for whatever reasons, and it's happening,
right.
It's only commonsensical that you open it up and let people move freely. Besides, that will also aid our ailing economy. Right. Look at the state of things. So for me, I really don't know what these people are doing. Before now, this thing should have been done some 2, 4, 5 weeks ago.
Uche, thank you. Thank you so much for talking to me. I appreciate it. Maurice is here. Hi, Maurice. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you here, Maurice. How is the demo today?
I'm speaking from Odisonbari. Please let them open the interstate. Like myself, I came to Lagos to do ceremony with
Maurice, your radio needs to go off, please. You need to call me back. Turn it off and call me back. Let's go to the socials right now. We have a post up on Twitter, by the way, so you can go there and share your thought. Mark Chimere at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. Mark Chimere is saying that lockdown. We don't want to experience what they experience in Europe and America. Let there be free movement within the country. Mark Chimere is sending that in. William says, I think the road ban should be uplifted and should be lifted, you mean, and safety measures by travelers should be taken seriously. Adeni Latif says, I am pleading for this travel ban to be lifted. A reason not far-fetched, as air transportation is one of the most screened, safe, and in all, generate both employment opportunities for the populace and income for the government. Let's open our airspace for God's sake. Okay. Jerry on Twitter says, in my candid opinion, I think government should ease the lockdown on interstate movement officially because people are still traveling but at high cost. Drivers are now ATM machines for law enforcement agents on all the checkpoints on the highways. Jerry sent that in. On Twitter. Let's go to Facebook because we're streaming live, like I said, on Facebook, and we got loads of comments on Facebook. Oh my goodness me. Ismail Olabayo Oladejo, I think you sent your message in earlier. Did I read it? Let's see if I can read this one. Sherry, if the government is waiting for a reduction in daily confirmed cases before we open up the economy, I think we're going to wait till eternity, except if we reduce the amount of testing. The virus is already in the community. Let the government open up the economy in total and make wearing a face mask compulsory for everybody and enforce it. Ismail, thank you for your message. Precious Efe says, please let the government open interstate because people are still traveling in the same road. They lock, just that they pay more. Eleshi Muhyiddin says, I suggest that there should be a total lockdown on interstate travels to Lagos alone because it's the epicenter of COVID-19, and a total lockdown again in Lagos to enable people believe that the pandemic is real. Nigerians are obstinate and need an iron hand. And Jose Emeka says the interstate has been on lockdown for a long time now, and how long shall it continue where people have to travel for business, burial, and visit their loved ones? It is becoming depressing, and the people can't afford to be held down as prisoners. Hence, some still risk it to travel, and that shows the ban itself is not effective. I think the interstate trips should be relieved. That is what Anozie Emeka is saying on Facebook. There are so many other comments coming through from Facebook. If you go to our YouTube live feed, you see loads of comments coming through on YouTube as well. Let's take just two. Precious on YouTube says, what are they imposing or inspecting? I beg. Williams Damilola on YouTube says, good day, Sheriff. Let's be realistic here. Would resuming the lockdown actually stop the spread, or we want to be selfish and ignorant? He's asking that. Maybe we should take one more from YouTube. Robson Daniel on YouTube says, people usually believe that what they see. I simply think that broadcasting the activities of the isolation center will help reduce this COVID-19. Those are messages, a few of the messages that have coming on YouTube. But in the meantime, we need to quickly get back to the calls, the phone lines, and get some more calls in. Hello, good morning to you. You need to turn off your radio and please turn it off. Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I'm Tony calling from the customer.
Welcome, Tony.
Yeah. You see, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Just go on.
Yeah, what I will say is this. Interstate movement should be lifted.
Okay.
Yeah, because we should stop deceiving ourselves. People are moving from one state to another state. Now, that aside, federal government controlled our airports, right?
Right.
Yeah, federal government is planning to open like two, three airports for business as usual. Are you getting me? Now, just last week, I heard the committee in charge of custom.
Right.
Telling the custom to do was to brace up. Are you getting it? Now, to brace up, I mean, what they're supposed to earn, I think over $1 trillion, but they slashed it down to maybe 700 billion or thereabouts. Are you getting now?
Right.
It is not a sort policy. Federal government controls what is it called? Custom.
Right.
Control airports.
Right.
So now, and Lagos is even threatening to do what?
Enforce a complete lockdown.
Lockdown. Are you
Right.
getting it?
Right.
I don't know, maybe you understand.
I'm with you completely. I'm with you
Yeah,
completely.
These are policies that I don't know how it works.
There is no synergy.
Federal government will say that. So that's the contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for bringing that
Yeah.
point. Ben is with us right now. Ben is in Satellite Town. Ben, good morning to you. We can hear you, Ben. Can you hear us? Okay. So we can't hear you again. We're just hearing some background sound effect. You're giving us sound effect, Ben. We want to talk to you, Ben. But we would like to get back to you then. You can call us back again. Grace Oladejo on Twitter says, if flights will be resuming, then land travels ban should be lifted because both involve movement of people. Government is not so serious in their fight against COVID-19. We already know that our fate is in our hand. Now we should just try to be safe individually. Grace sent that in. Let's speak with Greatness. Hi, Greatness. Good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
I call it is an evil when this federal government will say that they want to give another lockdown again.
Okay.
Me, I call it an evil. When I called yesterday morning,
right,
this different matter, when a lady did
Nata.
Yes, Nata.
Right.
It is an evil when 1 million boys are disturbing people in Lagos. When during the lockdown, my mom is still in Katsina State. I have a friend in Katsina State. High killing is going on in Katsina State. From Dusema to Safana to Damusa. People, killing people, kidnapping people. Come down to Lagos here. Rapes everywhere. Go to different Katsina State. Somebody called me, a neighbor in our house, raped a 3-month-old baby during this lockdown. And they're still telling us another lockdown. It is an evil. Anybody that supports that is in the evil. You are supporting evil. I'm against that. They should free us. Let us do our things. This lockdown is an evil. I have a bike that I give an Hausa man here. He said, they have cut in lockdown 4 times. The other one, I went to bail it 16,000 naira. Tell me, a young man like me, looking for what I will fed myself, and police are collecting my money. It's an evil. Okay, later I will say Yahoo Yahoo. I'm not doing Yahoo Yahoo. I'm a hustler. I have a laundry shop. I bought bikes I give Aboki so that they'll be, let me get money there. And they are catching me 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 16,000. If now I jump to Yahoo Yahoo, now they will say Nigeria are fraudsters. It's an evil. Anybody that support that is supporting evil. They should leave us. They should leave us. Let's free our life. That is my own.
Thank you, Greatness. Let's speak with Matthew. Matthew is in Badagry. Hi, Matthew. Good morning to you.
Hello, Quadry. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
And how was your night? Hope you slept well.
I did, actually. I did.
Talking on the interstate lockdown.
Yes.
You see, though people are still traveling, but they are paying through their nose. But, I just discovered that we just make laws and don't enforce them. When they say we should not be loading full capacity, though I work in Ikeja, I just came home.
Right.
There are times I called. In fact, I was happy for getting you online today. I will call and call and call and call. I will not get you. And the program will just be over.
Hey, sorry.
I know there are lots of people that really want to call. But
Sorry.
okay. Honestly, do you know that our government will make laws and they don't follow suit? BRT buses in beggars, full capacity. They don't have water. They don't have running water, not even hand sanitizer. Some people don't even put nose mask on. There was a day I was coming from work, I told my friend, I said, let's take a ratio of who wears mask and who does not wear mask. We're just counting on the crowd. Some will put their own on the jaw, some will put it in their head, some will never use it at all. They will hold it in their hand. So those that have it on their head or on their jaw, they are counted as those that also have it on.
Right.
So people that are traveling on, I think they should leave this interstate ban.
Okay.
Because there are people that make money from there. They have families. They've just been locked down for months. Now, inside the state, they are not observing the social distancing. They are not observing the precautionary measures that government have put in place.
Right.
So why are we just allowing this thing to linger on? Because people are there that feed from that avenue also. So they should look on that area and let us leave the ban. Because according to World Health Organization, they say we should learn to live with it. It's just one of those viruses. That's what they told us. So thank you very much.
You're right. Thank you, Matthew, for calling. I appreciate your time. All right. So Lagos, it's 8:25 right now, which means it's time for me to not go. No, I'm not going yet. I want to take a break. After the break, we'll come back here and take more of your thoughts. All right, more of your thoughts will be taken on the show this morning. We'll be going to YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp before we now come back to the calls. All right, stay here on the Morning Crossfire on Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
Leading the conversation.
We black people must understand what is really going on.
Import milk, sugar, toothpaste, handkerchief, pencil. We don't make.
Presenting the facts and access to pour out your mind.
There are more Nigerian doctors in LA than in the entire country of Nigeria. So let's be serious here.
We bring the experts on political and economic issues.
Every time you bring in a shipload of rice, you also bring in a shipload of unemployment because you are transferring your wealth to sustain other economies.
So let's look at an Africa that must be free to take care of herself, an Africa that's free from exploitation in broad daylight.
They need jobs. They are children. They've graduated. They've come back home to begin a second child because there's no factory to employ them.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
James Ajibola Idowu Ige. Overview. James Ajibola Idowu Ige, known as Bola Ige, was a Nigerian lawyer and politician. James Ajibola Ido Adegoke Ige was born in Zaria, near Kaduna in northern Nigeria. His parents were Yoruba natives of Eshaoke town in the old Oyo state and now in Osun state. Bola Ige left Kaduna and headed south to the western region at the age of 14. He studied at Ibadan Grammar School from 1943 to 1948 and then at the University of Ibadan. From there, he went to the University College London where he graduated with a law degree in 1959. He was called to bar in London's Inner Temple in 1961. Bola Ige established Bola Ige and Company in 1961 and later became a senior advocate of Nigeria. He became well known in the country for his oratory prowess as well as his advocacy work on civil rights and democracy. Uncommonly, Bola Ige spoke all three major Nigerian languages, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa, fluently. He wrote several books, and an anthology of articles and tributes about him was published shortly after his death.
Did you know?
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 Did you know? Did you know?
Did you know?
We don't just talk.
Assembly panel alleges fraud by 65 dredging firms in Lagos.
We inform.
Nigeria's compliance with the oil production cut will lead to deeper economic contraction and fiscal deficits.
So you assume you assume that it is preaching to tell somebody evil is evil and good is good.
Okay, sorry for using that word.
No, I'm not offended.
Tune in every weekday and weekends for the best radio experience. Right here on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Lagos, welcome back to the Morning Crossfire. If you are just joining us, you are welcome, and we are having this all-important conversation because this week we're expecting some big pronouncement, verdicts from the federal government about the reopening of airports and, lift of suspension or ban on interstate travels. We're expecting that pronouncement or those pronouncements today. But before you decide, before you make up your mind, right now Nigeria currently has 14,995 active cases, recorded active cases of COVID-19. We've discharged about 9,007 people and we've lost about 565 people to COVID-19 in Nigeria. Latest being officially well known, the late governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, ex-governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi. We lost him to COVID-19 related complications. As of 2 weeks ago, we had about 16,085 confirmed COVID-19 cases. Fast forward to yesterday, 50% jump. We now have 24,567 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. And now we're talking about reopening of our airports, reopening of our roads to allow for free movement of people. On the one hand, there is a ban currently right now. On the other hand, is there really a ban? Because security agencies, the police, the army, the NCDC, just name them, they are on our roads exploiting and extorting people. Because people sometimes, according to a caller, they don't want to travel, but for one reason that they couldn't just help, they just have to travel. So what sense could be there in the current ban on interstate travels that we have? Should we lift the ban and just make sure that, we put some guidelines and protocols in place? That is one. But then come to Lagos, where some guidelines are being rolled out by the government. Are they still following those guidelines? Talking about transporters right now, commercial transporters. Have you boarded a BRT bus lately or a normal bus? The Korokwe bus, have you boarded those buses lately? Are they obeying the laid down guidelines from the government? So what is the assurance that if we open up the roads, to Nigerians to travel from one state to the other. These transporters will obey the rules. Can you assure us? No. If you say that interstate travel bans should be lifted, that we should just have these guidelines, we should just tell transporters about these guidelines and make sure that they follow it. Can anybody guarantee, stand as surety? Well, we're not in the law court, but let's just borrow the word, right? Because if the person fails, we'll pick you up. Can you stand in for any transporter and say that, don't worry, he will obey all the guidelines? Yeah, that is the conversation we're having this morning. That's why I reeled out those figures, those statistics, so that we can come at this conversation in a very informed way and try and rationalize our submission thus far. So let's go to Facebook very quickly. We've got messages that are still coming in on Facebook. Tunde Matthew on Facebook says, good morning, Sheriff. The government should open up the economy and let people do their normal business and open the interstate movement, because most of law enforcement agencies are now making money from the public. Yes, they are. They are, shamelessly though. Prince Henry says, even with interstate travel, people are still traveling. Law enforcement agencies are still making fortune out of it. They should lift it and limit the number of passengers the drivers should carry. That's what Prince Henry is saying on Facebook. Bashir Wahab on Facebook says, good morning, Sheriff. I do not support the proposed removal of lockdown on the interstate movement. The removal will spike the COVID-19 figures more. I suggest another lockdown for Lagos State being the epicenter of the COVID-19. It's quite long, so I'm just going to stop there, Bashir. I get your point. Now, what Bashir is saying is actually quite logical. If you've been monitoring the news lately, you'll see that there is an outcry in Europe and America because ever since they started the ease on lockdown, there's been a spike in the number of fresh cases. As a matter of fact, the elders are blaming the youth for being responsible for the spike, because it's the truth. The youths are more mobile than the elderly, and the elderly are more susceptible to the pangs, to COVID-19. So you see, are we ready for this? That's my question this morning. Do you think we are ready for this? Because if we lift the interstate restriction, there will be spike. Already we are at the community spread level. So yeah, it's already spreading. You might be immune to it, but how about your grandfather, your grandmother, your father, your mother, even your siblings that actually have underlying illnesses that you don't even know, you're not aware. Maybe even you don't even know. Oh, well, shut up, Sheriff. Let's just go to the line. Let's see Twitter first before we go to the lines, shall we? Let's go to Twitter and take some comments from Twitter this morning. Then we will go to the phone lines. Loads of them are coming in on Twitter. Ekong Ekpa on Twitter says, no need for increment because the flight. Okay, you're talking about light, actually. You're talking about light. But thank you for your thought. Let's see what we have here. Wow, people are still talking about our discussion at 5 a.m. This is this is quite interesting, though. Wow. Okay. Thank you all for keeping the conversation going on. Appreciate it. One Sweet Frank on Twitter says, many women, children, and loved ones have been stranded in many states since the lockdown. Only men can risk and travel. Ease the lockdown on interstate travel for 2 weeks and lockdown later. Why give preference to importing the virus? One Sweet Frank is saying, okay, so don't lift it permanently. Just lift it for like 2 weeks. Let people move around and go and resettle if they want to resettle. And yeah, basically that's what you're saying. But thank you for your message. Appreciate it. Let's go to WhatsApp guys have been dropping messages for me all morning, so I'm just gonna go there. So let's breathe it. Oh my word. Okay, let's start from this one. Nath Israel from Satellite Town is here, and Nat says that Government should open up the economy, both airways, interstate movement, and most importantly, the schools. Lassa fever and other diseases kill more than COVID-19, yet no lockdown. Vaccines are not available, and many who work in private schools and transport companies are now beggars. No income or salary since March. The presidential task force get their pays and allowance daily. Government is highly insensitive. That's what Nat Israel is saying on WhatsApp. We'll take another WhatsApp message quickly. Dahiru, I took your message earlier on. I can only take one message from one person, all right? Kashmir says, hunger is more dangerous than COVID-19. They should lift all restrictions of local travel because it is not beneficial to the people. Money is scarce. Businesses are down. Hunger is biting hard. And he says, hashtag lift all lockdown. Kashmir, thank you for your message. Appreciate it. We'll take another one quickly. Ezekiel Obinna from Okeodo says, our law enforcement is our problem in this country. In my area, one police collects 100 naira. They allow bus and keke to load at full capacity. The ban should be lifted. Thank you, Obinna. Ezekiel. Now, Oscar Clement, I took one of your messages earlier, so I'm just going to skip. Don't worry, I don't forget names like that. Hakeem Sonny from Ikpaja says, there should be another total lockdown. People are not obeying the rules and the police are not doing their work. To stay at home is better than dying untimely. Oh, thank you. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Finori says it is easier said than done. Our government is good at making pronouncement, implementation, and enforcement. Have gone comatose. Security agents are busy making money on the highways unabated, and government is aware. Interstate should be open, I beg. That's Finori sending that one in from WhatsApp. We'll go to the phone lines after this particular message from WhatsApp. Phil Bien from Ikorodu says, it makes no sense by opening economy without lifting the interstate. Today, you can travel to any part of the country as long as you can pay from your nose. So they should lift the ban now. Phil Bien, thank you for your message on WhatsApp. We got hundreds more of WhatsApp messages that have coming, thus far. But let's quickly go to the phone lines and take some calls in. Comrade Akpan is joining us on the show this morning. Comrade Akpan, good morning to you.
Quadry.
Sir?
Since 5 o'clock.
It's not me, oh. It's not me, oh. It's not me,
Since
oh.
5 o'clock.
It's
Quadry.
not me. It's not me.
Are you doing this to me because of 2020?
It's not me. Are you contesting for presidency?
Kushoro. Quadry, good morning. You have Comrade Akpan on the line.
It's good to have you.
Hello.
We can hear you. We're waiting.
Yes. Honestly speaking, there is no good sense locking down states. In as much as the present price or cost from Lagos to Akwa Ibom at my fingertip was 25,000 naira if you want to travel. I told you I have my first son is in New York.
Is in school, right?
So the guy has been trapped. You understand?
Right.
And I wouldn't want him to take that risk because he wants to come and meet daddy in Lagos and mom in Lagos. No,
right.
My father is here. The mother's brothers are there in New York. So it's fine. But what about a child that is not from Akwa Ibom and is a student in one of the institutions there and is being trapped? And maybe the father and parent are from the southwest here or any part of the country. How do you think such a child will manage in another person's, place where you don't have anybody there? So as far as I'm concerned, let them open up.
Okay. For how long? For a moment or for just open it?
Moment. When coronavirus has taken a seat, according to WHO, he has a special seat in Nigeria now. Do you understand? So like people also observe Lassa fever, so many other sicknesses and diseases, infections are killing Nigerians.
But those ones, right? Those ones we can see them. This one you cannot see, Comrade Akpan. You don't know when you're carrying it until it has hit you. Do you understand?
Quadry, if government at all levels wants to hide on what you have just said now, you will see that either Nigeria at a point, I'm not advocating breakdown of law and order. I'm telling you, when you lock people inside, and instead of them dying of hunger, they will come out.
Yeah, but you are not being locked inside. It's just an interstate travel thing. Coming back, man. Thank you for calling me. Peter has been on the line for a while. Peter, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Thank you, Peter, for calling.
Well, I'm in support of unlocking the whole economy.
Right.
Let everything be working. School resume, everything resume. Solution to COVID-19. Our hospital should be open.
Okay.
Should be functioning. Presently, our hospital is not functioning. Let me give you one analysis.
Yes.
Here at the Koju General Hospital, on daily basis, more than 1,000 people visit the hospital on daily basis. Now that one is not showing now.
Right.
Nobody is going to hospital now.
Right.
You can imagine in this type of situation, we are in a situation where in a whole family of 5, everybody is sick, and they will know where to go. And every sickness now is COVID-19. The hospital is not functioning, so it's the optimal. It's not even functioning. You can't go there. So then, let them open the hospital. Lassa before HIV. Everybody will be going to the hospital for his own peculiar ailment and complain to the doctor, and let them be treated.
Okay.
That is the solution. All this lockdown, this and that and this. Some people die inside that. One woman called you this morning now.
Yes.
They call you SDV. And he has time to go to hospital. If you are the hospital, they will diagnose what is doing her. Then they will direct him to appropriate section. So if it's COVID-19 section, he will go there. If it is HIV, he will go there. If it is malaria, he will go there.
Right.
But now you can't do that in the hospital. In the Lagos section, the hospital now. It's not functioning. So that is the solution. Let the economy be open and let the hospital be expanded. Let the group of hospital, let them put medicine there. Presently in Lagos State, the medicines, the pharmacy there is PP. It's not government owned. The medicine there is more higher than the one outside.
Right.
God will help us.
Thank you, Peter, for calling me. Appreciate it. Alhaji Zubair is on the line, but I need to quickly take some YouTube messages, like 2 or 3. Alhaji Zubair, please stay on the line. I will come to you in a moment. Tokbaya Akpobi on YouTube says, in my opinion, COVID-19 has come to stay. It is not logical to continue the interstate lockdown. Francis Ogbodo says, government is only interested in those importing the virus and their own families overseas. They only love the poor masses during election. On YouTube, Francis Obodo sent that in. Adelaide Adewale on YouTube says that the law is not for the poor. The poor obeys while the riches are moving around. We need to open everywhere. Our government actions make many think COVID-19 is a scam because of the way they handle things. Adelaide Adewale with that one. On Naivi Aede on YouTube says, continuous lockdown is not the way out. From observation, let the economic activities resume and with more guidelines on the precautions. Thank you. Andrew from Iyano Pajat sent that in. Andrew, thank you. Let's speak with Alhaji Zubair right now. Alhaji Zubair, good morning to you.
Sheriff, no, wow.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. On the issue of the rule and regulation.
Yes.
Put in place by the government. It's for the safety of ourselves. But it's so disheartening. It's so saddening that when our government pronounce a law, but follow-up is a problem. Look at what some of your callers is talking about. The law enforcement agents who are to enforce the law, brought about by the government.
Right.
They are the one killing the effort of the government. So you can now see with the problem we have. So you see, I have somebody that he came from Bayelsa to this place. When things are normal, it's around 10,000 or something. He paid 25,000 to Lagos. And in fact, he confirmed that the boss himself, once you get a checking point, you will settle. Once you get this, you will settle. So what are we talking about? So you see, that is one of the problems we have. Are you telling me the government is not hearing what we are saying? The advantage you have, you people, journalists, is for government to transfer all information. You see, that shows they are insensitive. They are not concerned with the masses.
Right.
You see, and it's a problem. Look at some of us, especially in Lagos. Those people that are keeping the rule and regulation, they are not safe because some people are not keeping it. So that is one of the irony, the sad issue. And I said it, Sheriff, the other time. I said the effort of Governor of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu, let him make use of the neighborhood watch.
Right.
The police they are saying they are not enough in strength. All these neighborhood watch, they're everywhere in SCDA. Let him use them. They are not. They did not create them for traffic control.
Yeah.
They are not. They are not for traffic control. They are for neighborhood implement safety. Let me use them for implementation of this law to complement the efforts of the police.
Right. Thank you.
Anyway, have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Let's speak to Temi Tokwe. Hi, Temi Tokwe. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
How you been?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. My take on this issue.
Right.
Neither here nor there.
Okay.
I've seen people die of COVID-19. I've seen it live.
Okay.
I've a close friend.
Oh, wow.
Died of COVID-19. And politicians have been reported to have died of COVID-19. People are dying of COVID-19. And this disease is real. If you go on social media, you see people talking about their dead.
Right.
Every now and then.
Right.
You know? And the deaths are particularly with the people who have these underlying diseases and the aged ones.
Right.
But talking about unlocking the interstate
travel. Yeah.
Well, I still believe we need to open it. We need to live with the disease. We can't lock down forever, and the government must come with the regulations to make sure people move about.
Right.
But the point is, they've made, even within the state, they made laws and people are not obeying it. The police, the law enforcement agencies are taking advantage. The people are not even obeying. We are being used to, we are being told to use face masks. People are not using it.
People are not.
I was in the bus. One day like that, I was the only one that used it. I was even telling a lady beside me that use this thing. Say what for? Imagine, she was even not concerned about her health. The driver was using it, but wasn't closing his mouth and nose. These are the things that are happening. We ourselves are the issues. We blame the government. They made laws and we are not obeying the laws. That's the problem. Let the government open it. People are shouting and they will put down the laws, but I know we ourselves are not going to follow the laws.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Boy.
You're welcome.
I appreciate your contribution. Let's go to Facebook very quickly and take some thoughts. Sadia Annabelle on Facebook is saying that COVID-19 in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, is a scam. Let them continue making the masses when the time comes. Someone or nemesis will catch up with them. Okay, Prince Harry, I think I've taken yours. We have loads and loads of other messages that I've not taken. Femi Osho says the interstate lockdown is not necessary either. Is it germane in combating this dreaded virus? We don't have to be conservative for... Okay, let's move on to another one. Tunde Matthew, I think I've taken yours as well. Jeremiah Agbochinu says, whether they lock down or not, COVID-19 is here to stay with us like any other virus. The question is whether NCDC is carrying out community testing. Jeremiah, you have pointed out something really interesting there, and I wish that we can get an answer to that. In some other places, it's called drive-by testing. Godwin is joining us right now from Lakwe. Hi, Godwin. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Quadry.
Good morning.
Yes, the lockdown issue.
Yes.
When we have a father that does not have a truth, in the morning he tells lies, in the afternoon he tells the children lies, in the evening he does the same. Definitely, you see that those children of such a father will no longer trust the father, and you discover that what he is supposed to do, he will be having issue. If our government are serious people with sincerity, doing what they're supposed to do in the hospital and telling the truth the challenge of lockdown, not lockdown now. You see people without being told adhering to simple instruction. You see discipline as the order of the day. But when they are on top, they are liars, they have no truth, and they don't obey laws. It is difficult for the citizens to see reasons for them to do what the leaders or the rulers have failed to do.
Right.
So that is the implication of not being sincere.
Okay.
Our so-called ruler today in this country.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you, Godwin, for calling. Appreciate it. Lagos, this is how far we'll be able to go on the crossfire today. Thus far, we've been able to look at this very important, all-important topic. Should government permit resumption of flight and interstate travels? We should be hearing from the government anytime from tonight, especially concerning dates of flight resumption and dates for interstate ban that will be lifted. Ban on interstate will be lifted. Okay, so hopefully we'll get to hear it today. If not today, we'll hear from the PTF this week. Certainly this week. All right. So thank you all for being a part of the show. You can follow me up on socials at Sheriff Quadry on Instagram, at Sheriff Quadry on Twitter, at Sheriff Quadry on LinkedIn. Come on, hit me up. Let's chat. Let's converse a little. All right. I like engaging with people on those socials. All right. Please follow me. Many thanks to my team that put this together. Colin Seke will be here with What's Up Lagos. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast here on Nigeria Info.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.